Here we go. Welcome everyone to the first Tolkien Adaptation Month live stream. We'll begin in just a little bit. First, I need to tell the internet that we are starting. We are live. So I'll start in a little bit. What we are going to play is Interplay's 1990 Lord of the Rings RPG computer game, which I mentioned in last week's video. I mentioned it in I mentioned it in the animated movies video because the first time I played this game, I played the CD-ROM Windows version of this game, which featured, in lieu of original cutscenes, it featured clips from the Bakshi movie, and that was the first I had seen of the Bakshi movie as a kid. Today we are playing the DOS floppy disk version, which does not have the movie clips, but you know, we're playing what I could get my hands on and what I could easily run on a MacBook. So we'll start in a few minutes, but actually, first thing we will do is we will look at the instruction manual, which has been archived online in a PDF format. The instruction manual of Lord of the Rings by Interplay, featuring this classic Gandalf versus the Balrog art. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I do not I do not blame you for not expecting a live stream. Thank you. I'm glad you've been enjoying them. We of course have 2 more to go, which are available now on Patreon, although I might make a few tweaks to them before the public versions. But yes, so we are playing, we're going to be playing in a little bit this game from Interplay, creators of such classic games as Alone in the Dark and Out of This World and Mario Teaches Typing. But in the 90s, they made these Lord of the Rings games. And you'll see on the manual here, we've got, I presume this is supposed to be Frodo at Weathertop. I'm not sure why the Nazgul's horse is winged in this art. I don't know why at Weathertop the Nazgul's horse has wings, but considering this is volume 1 of Lord of the Rings, I can't imagine what other part of the story this would be. Yes, I can't remember the name of the artist either, but I think Dan Olson specifically mentioned that art in his video about the Bakshi movie. Hello, Gabby. I am a live man indeed. It's not just going to be me nitpicking the art. It's also going to be me playing the game at a certain point. My hot take on Balrog wings is I think going strictly from the text, the Balrog doesn't have wings, but I think Balrogs look better with wings. So in the future, I may do my list of changes to the movies that I actually like, and one of them is giving the Balrog wings. That sounds right. That sounds right. You can't check the top of the weather without wings. So yes, let's go through this manual a little more. We won't read through the entire manual. No, I skipped. All right. The Lord of the Rings, Volume 1, is a computer role-playing game based on the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien, covering the first book in the trilogy. This manual contains background information on this game and the world of Middle-earth in general. We've aimed this manual at 2 different audiences. If you are not familiar with Tolkien's work, welcome to Middle-earth. We are honored to be... This scrolling is bad. We are honored to be your introduction to one of the greatest works of imaginative literature ever written in any language. The Lord of the Rings is extremely complex, with hundreds of strange names, detailed histories, and other elements that can easily overwhelm someone who is not familiar with this world. We have written 4 short sections with the newcomer in mind. What has gone before? The Shire, I'm gonna zoom out. And prominent places in the Shire and outside the Shire. Well, since I am familiar with Tolkien's world, that part's not really aimed towards me. If you are familiar with Tolkien's books, you are going to be our toughest critic. While this is one of the largest computer games ever created, we couldn't fit in every place in Middle-earth into this game. At the same time, we didn't want to clone Tolkien's world directly into the game, and have anyone who knows the book be able to easily solve the game. You'll find plenty of new encounters, new characters, and even a plot twist or two that are not included in Tolkien's epic fantasy. The reason we did this was not to improve Tolkien's work. This would be extremely arrogant and stupid of us to say, but to challenge the computer gamer who is familiar with Tolkien's work. Expect to be surprised. And now they have the "this was written in a different time" disclaimer. We are trying to be true to the spirit of Tolkien in this game, so the game reflects Tolkien-esque attitudes. Pipe weed smoking is a pleasant recreation, not the deadly addiction that we know it to be in today's world. Wolves, as in European folktales, are the destructive man-killers, not the intelligent social creatures that we know them to be in the real-life world. They're basically saying, sorry, we're going to have you kill some wolves. If these things offend you, consider their inclusion in this game to be an artifact of an earlier time when we were ignorant about such things. And then, for convenience's sake, we use the pronoun he to represent he or she, and the pronoun him to represent him or her. So at the end of the disclaimer about acknowledging that not everything in the game is progressive, they just are completely oblivious to the option of using the singular they, I suppose. Let's see. Let me pay attention to the chat. Hildebrandt sounds right for the artist. I think Jackson's trilogy would not have happened if Bakshi's movie had never happened. Somebody else would have gotten to Lord of the Rings eventually, but I don't think it would have been Jackson. Yes, I watched your stream after the fact, Charlie. Playing all the old all the old Parks games. Borman's version I kind of wish happened just because it would have been like Zardoz level weird. Yes, the Hildebrandt brothers. That is who it is. I think Bombadil is, but I'm not sure because when I did play this as a child, I was completely unfamiliar with how RPGs worked. And so I did not get very far into this game because I think I was treating it more like an adventure game than an RPG. And I wasn't like thinking in terms of like combat and everything. I mean, in Tolkien, women barely exist, so, you know. Artifact of an earlier time. So, general introduction to how games work. Player characters, temporary characters. Every character in Lord of the Rings Volume 1 has a set of 6 attributes. Characteristics. And then, yeah, dexterity, endurance, luck, skills. It's been a long time since I played this game, so I'll probably spend most of it just exploring the Shire on today's stream. So as I was saying earlier, as a kid, I played the CD-ROM Windows version of this game, which in lieu of original cutscenes featured clips from the Bakshi movie. It also had a fully voiced tutorial with different voice actors where like Gandalf explains the interface and other characters interrupt and ask questions, and like Boromir explains combat and Pippin explains dialogue boxes and everything. I cannot find the CD-ROM version. I could only find the floppy disk DOS version, so we will not be getting to enjoy that original fully voiced tutorial, unfortunately. Combat. So standard RPG game. Standard RPG game influence. The One Ring of Sauron the Terrible, currently held by the hobbit Frodo Baggins. The ring has the ability to render anyone who wears it invisible and to preserve their life. Though, as Gandalf has said, this is really an unlife. Obviously, there will be plenty of silly voices provided by us. And by us, I mostly mean me. I have not played the Lego Tolkien games yet, but they are on my list as soon as I can find a... Okay, these elves are definitely Vulcans here. These elves are Vulcans. I haven't played Lord of the Rings Online either, mainly because, like, MMO type games I kind of avoid because I know I would get sucked into them and never leave, and that is not something that I want to have take over my life. But I've learned a lot about Lord of the Rings Online as I've been, like, browsing the various Tolkien wikis, cross-checking my research for these videos, and I'm surprised how much, like, I think I expected it to be more of an MMO than an actual story-driven thing, but, like, a lot of characters apparently, like, do their things from the book in the game. So yeah, what do I know? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. The elf Vulcans are a tribute to the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins video. In the middle of the earth. Okay, well, I'm scrolling through the manual on my Chromebook and it's just tedious. So I think we are going to skip past that. I think that is no longer a necessary part of the process. Let us, only 3 feet tall. I think we should start playing the game proper. So we do all miss Leonard Nimoy. It's true. Okay, now let me get this started. And let me put up the window that has the game in it. And has StreamYard behind it, even though DOSBox is full screen. What you gonna do there? All right. Do you want to play an old game or begin a new game? Warning, a new game will erase all saved games. Old game. A saved game is not on this disc. So why are you warning me that a new game will erase all saved games when there aren't any saved games? Are you absolutely sure? A new game will erase all saved games. All those saved games you don't have, this is going to erase them all. Fun. All right. Let us... begin the game. Oh, that's sweet, sweet chiptunes music. We must protect the zero save games. Look at that shiny Interplay logo. I do like this music. Lord of the Rings, Volume 1. I like that Sauron took time to carve the name of his franchise into the rock face of Mount Doom. I think that's just good branding. Look at the slow loading cutscene. Living in the land of the lost of the rings. It is very Vitalectrix. I also don't have nearly enough Tolkien shirts, so I just wore one of my other gaming shirts, my Monkey Island shirt for this. Let's enjoy this cutscene that's not from the Bakshi movie. When Mr. Bilbo Baggins celebrated his 11th birthday with a party of special magnificence, it was the talk of the Shire. I mean, he is the Lord of the Rings. Original title, Do Not Steal. Sauron is the Lord. After the birthday feast came Bilbo's speech. Most of the company were prepared to listen to anything and cheer at every full stop. That's not fully an accurate adaptation because most of the hobbits were kind of dreading that the speech would go on too long, which of course it did. You know what? You're not wrong. Monkey Island could have been an offshoot of the Greyhaven somewhere. Guybrush sailed from Middle-earth to Melee Island to become a pirate. Yeah, this Bilbo is definitely very, he's half-baked Baggins, definitely. I have collected you all together for a purpose, Bilbo said. I regret to announce that this is the end. I am going. I am leaving now. Goodbye. I like how this this sort of waiter hobbit was like mid-serving drinks, or he's just like, wait, what the fuck? Bilbo vanished. The guests at the feast were speechless, somewhat angered by the trick. It can safely be said that they did not share Bilbo's sense of humor. God, I love me some understatement. Look at this dopey little Bilbo, or this dopey little Frodo. Only Bilbo's nephew Frodo knew the truth. Years before, Bilbo had found a magic ring that could make him disappear. Mr. Gandalf, I don't feel so good. Bilbo used this ring to leave the Shire forever. It makes it sound like the ring, like, not only makes him visibly disappear, but actually teleports him elsewhere. Like it's not he used the ring to like become invisible and then sneak away. Like he used the ring to actually leave. Hey, hey, we're the hobbits. People say we hobbit around. You know, it's funny because famously, the Beatles almost starred in the Lord of the Rings adaptation. And also, I didn't get into this in the video, but Mick Jagger really wanted to play Frodo in Ralph Bakshi's movie, but the role was already cast by the time he reached out to Bakshi. So, like, the monkeys in Lord of the Rings, sure, let's do it. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I have a lot of thoughts on the lost Lord of the Rings Beatles movie, and how did this not get made from Pipe Dream Podcast? Did an episode on it a while back, as well as some other lost Lord of the Rings adaptations, which is worth listening to. I did not get it together for this year, but one of the things, when I was listing my potential Tolkien Adaptation Month videos, one of the things I considered was an idea I've had for a long time, which is the sort of fake Beatles Lord of the Rings movie, which is just a medley of Lord of the Rings parody songs, entitled, of course, Lord of the Ringo. So I may do the Lord of the Rings Beatles mashup someday in the future. We shall see. The Kubrick connection is interesting, and there's mixed reports about whether the Kubrick movie was going to be the Beatles one or if that was a separate Lord of the Rings adaptation that was going to happen. But I think there might have been some overlap in Beatles being attached and Kubrick being attached. And yeah, it is Kubrick's Lord of the Rings. I think he could have made a really interesting Lord of the Rings movie, but not without torturing some innocent actors along the way. Oh, Tolkien hated so many things that I love. One of the big things, and I talked about this in the chat for the animated movies video. I didn't talk about it in the video proper, but Tolkien hated Disney. Tolkien thought like Snow White was terrible. And I haven't found much information on this, but there was a report somewhere that one of the stories that Walt considered trying to get the rights to do for a segment in Fantasia was The Hobbit. And I have no idea how that would have worked as a Fantasia segment, but I do want to visit that parallel reality where like they just set like an abridged version of The Hobbit to some classical piece. Beach Boys, Lord of the Rings, there we go. It's the little one ring, you don't know what I got. I mean, Tolkien had very specific thoughts about dwarves. Tolkien also always insisted that the plural of elf and dwarf is with a V, is elves and dwarves, when traditionally before that it was elves and dwarfs, which Tolkien the linguist was not a fan of. Just Lord of the Rings cycle. Sure, why not? I should move on with this cutscene now. That very same ring was part of the inheritance that Bilbo left to Frodo. A ring that Frodo ignored for several years. Sutton Gandalf. I love this pose. I love this, like, hey, buddy, you know this ring you got? You should, until Bilbo's friend, the wizard Gandalf, appeared. Again, we're being very, very loose with the terms, appear and disappear. Oh yeah, Tolkien was absolutely a weird, bitter old crank, and, as much as I love all of his work, I love his writings, and I think he was on the right side of history on a lot of issues. I feel like if he was alive today, he would give J.K. Rowling a run for her money on putting his foot in his mouth, but that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. It is a very Santa-like Gandalf, and the thing is, before the Jackson movies, Gandalf is described in the book, and all you really have to go off of is he's an old man with a long white beard, and he wears the gray, and, you know, they describe his hat and his hood and his staff. But, like, tall old man with long white beard does give you a lot of flexibility in design choices. Yeah, I think another crack at Black Cauldron is worth doing. I have not read The Black Cauldron, but I'm sure there's stuff in there that would be worth Disney doing another crack at. But of course, they only want to remake the things that are already proven commodities, which means they remake the shit they got right the first time, which is not the way. Tolkien did indeed write something about Father Christmas. Specifically, there's a Tolkien collection called the Father Christmas Letters, and it was a series of letters that he wrote to his children under the guise of these are letters, like they wrote to Father Christmas, they wrote to Santa for what they want, and Tolkien, as Santa, wrote back to his children explaining what was going on in the North Pole. And it's been a long time since I've read the Father Christmas Letters, but people have talked about how there are elements in there that kind of creep into Lord of the Rings, and it's you know, the same sort of way a lot of authors like tell their children bedtime stories and then sort of use the elements in the bedtime stories they make up in their more polished works. but yeah, Tolkien wrote the Father Christmas letters. Haven't read it in years. It's not something you put nearly as much effort into as he did into Middle Earth. So I don't think it's something he ever really meant for the public to experience. So, but like if you're, I'm pretty sure if you are a Tolkien aficionado, it's at least worth reading. I mean, we got a Doctor Who Radagast, so there was. I do not believe there was a Virginia Tolkien, but that would have been funny. Okay, moving on with the cutscene. I have searched for the answer to Bilbo's ring for many years, Gandalf explained. There is one more test. Whip. Just bloop. Hold it up, said Gandalf, and look closely. Yeah, lots of authors, do their bedtime stories for their children, and they turn into pop culture icons like Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, Disney and Narnia. What's funny is they dropped. Well, I think specifically Walden Media had the Narnia license, and when Walden's contract with Disney ended, they went to Fox. So now all the Narnia movies that were made are under the Disney banner. But that is funny considering, that C.S. Lewis was not much of a fan of Disney either. Narnia, I know the later books get weird in some ways, so it's maybe not terrible that they just can't get past Silver Chair in any adaptations, but because the BBC live action adaptation only went up to Silver Chair. Maybe it's for the best that they don't get to Last Battle and the weird the weird rapture theology and the weird racism of the Last Battle, but the Narnia series, I mean, there's 7 books, so if it's not like Harry Potter and a hit right out of the gate, nobody's going to commit to 7 movies right away. All right, that's one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them. We all know the poem. What does this mean? Frodo asked, secretly dreading the answer. It is a long story. And we're going to get a very abridged version of the long story. The great Elvish smith made magic rings. But then the Dark Lord Sauron tricked the elves. The rings gave their wearers great powers. So when I grew up, the Narnia books were still published in release order, and I remember the first day I came across a copy of the Narnia books that rearranged them to chronological order, and I was like, I hate it. It's like, no, these don't actually make sense in chronological order. It's like the Star Wars prequels. These things only have meaning if you know what they're building up to. But yeah, what you gonna do? It's a very chill Gandalf backstory and chill. But then the Dark Lord Sauron tricked the elves. The rings gave their wearers great powers. Power to dominate and control all things that surrounded them. It is a very the Tolkien sarcasm page in their really snarky breakdown of Bakshi's Lord of the Rings complained that in the shadow play sequence, Sauron looks like one of the knights who say knee, and not inaccurate. In the furnaces of Mount Doom, Sauron created the One Ring to rule them all. The furnaces of Mount Doom. It's like I guess. To rule all who wore elven rings and rule Middle-earth. There were great wars and many deaths. Finally, elves and men united for a final battle against Sauron. Prince Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger and took it as a trophy. He is the most interesting wizard in the world. I don't always find rings, but when I do, they are the One Ring. However, Isildur was slain in battle, and the ring fell off his finger into the great river, where it long lay. Look at Bilbo and Gollum. Bilbo doing this. Stop in the name of love. You know what it is? It's the it's the Raiders of the Lost Ark staff. It's the it's the they're digging in the wrong place. Yes, that is a favorite fan theory, a favorite joke fan theory of mine. That Tom Bombadil and the Witch King are one and the same, and you know, it's completely a joke. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's not meant to be taken seriously. They make kind of a compelling case, not really one, but kind of a compelling case. Yeah. So Isildur was corrupted by the ring, and there's, I mean, he. The scene in the movie where he actually like goes to the fires of Mount Doom and decides at the last second not to take it, that is a creation for the movie. But it's true that like he was tempted and corrupted by the ring like anyone else and like everyone else is. And the ring is referred to as Isildur's Bane because it basically was his downfall. I don't always arrive precisely when I mean to. Gollum with pants. There was no real consistent idea of Gollum's clothing before the movies. There was no like consistent way. I remember seeing at least one painting before the movies that showed like a fully nude Gollum, like with his back just kind of to the camera, I guess. So like a bare butt Gollum, which not an unreasonable assumption because he's not like described as wearing clothing. Which Jacob, I know you have a poll on your Twitter right now asking if people want to watch the if people want you to watch the theatrical or extended editions first. And people can go to your Twitter to vote on that. Yes, but the Rankin Bass Gollum is so much more animalistic that like he doesn't really read as naked. He just reads as a frog. And I should know this because I just spent so long like combing over those movies, but I feel like he's got like kind of a fur loincloth going on. Like I don't know if it's supposed to be he's wearing a loincloth or just he naturally has fur covering his joints, covering his precious, as it were. The ring was found by a wretched creature, Gollum, who hid deep in the caverns of the Misty Mountains. Then Bilbo met Gollum and won the ring in a contest of riddles. Well, sort of. Gollum was enraged to lose his precious. Only close one of the quotes. Gollum swore an oath. Baggins, we hate it forever, he shouted. Eventually, the Dark Lord found Gollum and learned that Again, interesting limitations of text spacing in terms of how these things go out. Hobbits have his ring. He will be sending forces to take the ring from you, so he may become the unchallenged master of Middle-earth. There are a lot of... Okay, so maybe that's why the Rankin Bass thing says based on the original version of The Hobbit, because they're basing it off of that pre-Lord of the Rings decision. Yeah, I know there are some illustrations early on that make it like a really troll-like golem, like a big weird creature. It's interesting. Before the Jackson movies kind of solidified the way pop culture at large sees this story, there were so many odd and interesting versions of the characters. Gandalf has his sources that the game does not have time to explain to us. I wonder if there is. Somebody should have done like at a press junket. Somebody should have asked all the other Lord of the Rings actors to try and do the Gollum voice. That would have been a fun like video for things to do. Yeah, Frodo's just like, hello, yes, I am hearing your story. Master of Middle-earth. I also like limitations of early gaming. We just still have Gollum, or Gandalf rather. We have Gandalf's mouth moving through all this. Gandalf, you are wise and powerful. Will you take the ring? Question mark? Intense eye close-up. Uh, 17 years pass in the Shire between Bilbo's birthday party and Gandalf coming back. And like the indication is he was spending that time like in the movie it happens much more abruptly, but like when Gandalf is in Gondor looking through all the records and everything, like he is spending a lot of time researching, trying to figure out exactly trying to pinpoint everything, because he has his suspicions about the ring, but he wants to be absolutely sure before he troubles Frodo with it. And they condense the timeline a lot more in the movie, which I don't think was a terrible decision for the movie. But it also makes it extra funny in the Rankin Bass Hobbit, where at the end he's just like, Gandalf's like, oh, if you knew the truth about that ring. And it's like, you're just so cavalier about that. So cavalier. Prolonged eye contact, prolonged eye contact, prolonged eye contact, prolonged eye contact. Bo Burnham's Lord of the Rings. Let's do it. I do kind of like that element in the Jackson movie, that like as soon as Bilbo doesn't have the ring anymore, age really starts to catch up to him. And that's actually interesting that Bakshi's movie keeps the 17 years in that like flashing lights montage, which is I didn't touch on this in the video, but there's a scene, it's like 17 years pass sleepily in the Shire, and then it just like flashes through a bunch of seasons really quickly in what I think is supposed to be a comedic beat, but it's very jarring. But yeah, it is funny that then later when Frodo meets up with Bilbo in Rivendell, Bilbo doesn't look particularly older, despite being now 128 and not having the ring on him anymore. Yeah, you're not wrong there. No, I dare not. Such power would tempt me and corrupt me. Even though, like, you literally introduce yourself into the scene by just picking up the ring and being like, just being like, hey, Frodo, you know this thing? Well, here's the story about it. Throw it in the fire. But don't you dare give it to me, because then I will be corrupted. I do not wish to become like the Dark Lord. The ring must be destroyed. It must be taken to Mount Doom, where it was made, and cast into its furnaces. Only by destroying the ring, the foundation of Sauron's power, can we save Middle-earth. And back to this camera angle. I have one last errand to run. When I return, we will go to Rivendell, the city of the elves. If I do not return by your birthday, leave without me. Make your way down to the East Road to Rivendell. Tell no one of your plans. Pretend that you are. Not pretend that you are anything specific, just pretend that you are. You know, that probably would have been a thing in my family. The thing is, so I mentioned in the video that I couldn't track down a copy of Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. And part of it was my parents, who were Tolkien fans, were not a particular fan. They were not particular fans of that movie. So they had no real reason to seek it out. So I saw Jackson's movies before the Bakshi one because my parents were like, there's a real Lord of the Rings movie happening. You are not going to school on Wednesday. You are going to see this movie. So, and I was on board, even though I was still bitter that I wasn't the one directing Lord of the Rings. Frodo's got his smug smirk. It's like, destroy all of Middle-earth. Sounds good to me. I've had it with these people. I'm tired of these people and their ways. So basically, the exchange, yeah, it's much like the presence of the Necromancer and the Hobbit. It's just ways to get Gandalf out of being the Deus Ex Machina for everyone. I don't know why I didn't piece that together. that Hamill was that Luke was in Wizards and 3PO was in Lord of the Rings. Bakshi really working his way through the.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Hello, my wife is here, everyone.
Hello. Did not realize that you were playing now, so I
Yes, you did.
I had my headphones on until like 2 seconds ago. So. Love you. Sorry.
I told you I'd be streaming.
I lost track of everything.
Love you, honey.
I got more oat milk.
Okay. The chat says hi.
Okay, hi, chat.
Anything to deal with the Sackville Baggins is, even if it means getting rid of everyone. Tell no one of your plans. Pretend that you are moving in with your relatives in Buckland. Do not go alone. Take those friends that you can trust. Don't tell anyone, but take people you can trust. And do not use the ring. And do not use the ring. Yes, and Dan Olson went into this a little bit in his video on Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. Bakshi and Lucas had some agreements going on. Then Bakshi was kind of bitter that Star Wars was severely outperforming Wizards. Bakshi is a complicated figure. Fatty Bulger, yeah. Fatty Bulger is one of the unsung heroes of the text, and yeah, does not get his due in the movie. But yeah, one of the unsung heroes. Again, one of those great moments early on that is setting up the tenacity of hobbits that comes into play in the Scouring. I am tired of Middle-earth. I mean, he basically literally says that at the end of the Rankin Bass Return of the King, so. The important thing is every wizard in every version resembles a doctor somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. And do not use the ring. Only Frodo's friend, Sam Gamgee, knows Frodo's true plans. They skip the part where Gandalf basically finds Sam and says, for punishment, you are on this quest too. The day of Frodo's birthday arrives, and Gandalf does not come. And now we're getting into gameplay. A lump forms in your throat as you say goodbye to Bag End. Sam and Pippin are next to you. They want to accompany you to the Buckland Ferry, where your cousin Merry is waiting for you. I think the closest we'll ever get to a Silmarillion movie is whatever the Amazon series uses from the Silmarillion, which could be a lot, could be a little. I know so little about what the Amazon series is doing, and I also haven't read the Silmarillion because as much as I love Tolkien, as much as I love his work, my attention span only goes so far. Yeah, remember when they were really talking up Matt Smith in Rise of Skywalker? Like, oh yeah, he's a big role. You know, I didn't hate Rise of Skywalker as much as certain people I know did, but it was clearly a clusterfuck of a production. A lump forms in your throat as you say goodbye to Bag End. Sam and Pippin are next to you. They want to accompany you to the Buckland Ferry, where your cousin, Merry, is waiting for you. All right, and now we right-click to bring up the interface here. Talk to Sam. You need someone you can depend on. Well, who does this Sam look like? That is a very familiar face to me, and I can't place what character or actor this Sam looks like, but looks like somebody. Talk to Pippin. Take me with you. He's got less wordy than Sam, which is uncharacteristic for Pippin, I suppose. All right, recruit Sam and Pippin. They are recruited. I guess Sam does look a little Aykroyd-esque. All right, and now before we do anything else, it is daylight, and now let's go into Bag End. Yes, instead of the very specific Billy Boyd accent, Pippin's a cowboy in this one. Pippin is a cowboy in this one. All right. You have entered Bag End, widely renowned as the most comfortable hole in Hobbiton, and, until today, home of the Baggins family. Well, I mean, it's still the Baggins family, just the Sackville side of it. All right, now... Where are you going, whichever Hobbit you are? From the top. Okay, I think... Okay, yeah, I can also use arrow keys, so I don't need to click and drag to bring everyone around, but... Much like Tails following Sonic, these characters kind of wander around half following you and half getting confused by things. Let us investigate. Can I get... Nope, can't get anything from the bookshelf. The bookshelf is strictly decorative. How many fireplaces are there in Bag End? You remember the voice of Gandalf a few months ago in this very room. He said to you, but I do not think you need go alone, not if you know anyone you can trust. This room seems cold and barren now. The time has come to leave the Shire. So I think that is supposed to be the hint reminding you to recruit Sam and Pippin, but I already did that. So, yeah, you know, one game hero is about destroying the ring, and the other is about accumulating as many as possible. Okay, this appears to be some sort of kitchen. The thing is, this very boxy top-down aesthetic does not really convey the coziness of Bag End particularly well. It is, that's just a limitation of the graphics of the time. Okay, what do we got here? Somewhere in here is a chest, and use the ring. There's skills, I think. Okay, Frodo skills are various lores, perception, nothing to perceive. Climb, jump, read. Maybe I should do read by one of the bookshelves. I'm trying to remember, is this the chest or is that just some sort of weird box? Let me explore the rest of Bag End. Many rooms. Many rooms, no stairs. Ah, this is the chest. Bilbo's chest is in this room. When he left for Rivendell, he forgot to leave the key with Frodo. And if I recall correctly, despite there not being a key, I believe one of Pippin's skills is picking locks. Yep. You open the chest. There is something gleaming inside, waiting to be taken. Just something. Take silver pennies. Okay. 70 pieces of silver. And that's our current stat. All right. I don't remember. Yeah, what if you could do the whole quest with Fatty Bulger and like Esmeralda Took? I don't know. What if you could do the whole quest with you see items in here you might use. Do I? What might I use? Rations and torch. I'll take it. Yes, that would be fun if you could really choose the Fellowship. This is a pretty expansive game, but I do not think it was that expansive. Okay. And I'm pretty sure most of these rooms... Is that another chest? I think most of these rooms are strictly decorative. Take the Gaffer and Rosie Cotton and just leave Sam at home to wait for them both. Yeah, that's one of the things that's so great about Lord of the Rings and Tolkien, like just the way he came from academia. And how do I open a door? Is that something I can do? Or open a chest? Is that a skill? No. I don't know. Maybe I should have read the manual more, but it was being slow. Okay, well, I'm going to assume if that is a chest, whatever's in it is not super important. Sam would be content with all the gardening, but also, let's be real, the quest would not have been completed without Sam. Sam is the hero. The Red Book of Westmarch is passed down from generation to generation, and years from now, humans will wonder, is there Hobbit in me? All right. Let's go on this quest. And there's Lobelia. Lobelia Sackville Baggins hits Frodo with her umbrella. Give me the key to Bag End, she shouts. It's time that decent folk live there. Give it to me now. Okay. I'm going to assume trade. Trade to Lobelia. Should I give her the ring? I can't. I tried. I can't. Trade Bag End key to Lobelia. Are you sure? Yeah, hope there was nothing else important in that other chest. Owls at last, Lobelia says. Now off to Buckland with you, and don't bother us again. Oh, the music's starting up again. A year or so back, Chris Nebergall asked on Facebook if Python ever did a Lord of the Rings movie, who would have played who? And I put a lot of thought into it. I don't remember all of what I said, but I know that I said the cameo appearance for Spike Milligan as Bilbo. All right. Now it is nighttime. You see old Gaffer Gamgee wave at you as you pass by. We should probably talk to Sam's dad, see what's up with him. Talk to the Gaffer. Have you heard of the Lost Kids? Can't say I know much. They know more at the inn. We can ask kids. They were talking about them at the Hobbiton Inn. Hobbiton! A couple folks were saying that old Farmer Grubb was real upset. Maybe Freddy is missing. I don't know anyone. Okay, so this this is a limited vocabulary, but still. It's the Lost Boys. It's because you know what Lord of the Rings really needs is a shirtless sax solo. I think Chapman was Frodo in mine. It might have been Palin as Gandalf. I can't remember for sure. I know. I'm pretty sure I had Terry Jones as Lobelia Sackville Baggins and Terry Gilliam as Lotho. I definitely had Gilliam as Gollum and as Wormtongue because those are all like Brad Dourif as Wormtongue kind of looks like a Terry Gilliam character. Do you have anything about a Black Rider? Nope. So that's not book accurate. Okay, so Grubb. You know, Farmer Grubb of the Grange and his boy Freddy. That boy always did go off on his own too much. And you don't know anything more about Farmer Grubb. And then Saruman sings Whatever Happened to My Part from Spamalot. Can we go into the Gaffer's house? Yes. Lord of the Rings is... I don't think it's my favorite Lord of the Rings parody, but it is one of the most historically significant ones. So it is... spoiler alert, this may not be the only Tolkien adaptation month I do, and I may do breakdowns of some of the notable Lord of the Rings parodies another time. Didn't fit it into the docket this year, but maybe in the future. I guess the music only plays at night. Who's this Hobbit? All these Hobbits look alike from top down. So who do we have here? Just Hobbit. Hello, nice weather, isn't it? That is a sickly looking face. Weather. It was a lovely summer this year. Hope we don't get too much rain. Rain. Does this conversation have a point? Summer. No, okay, so this is just set deck, I guess. There were so many, like it's wild that they had room for unnamed. It's wild that they had room for unnamed hobbits when there are so many named hobbits to pull from. Now I know ultimately our goal is east, but let's explore the Shire a little more. Your admiring gaze falls upon the chestnut trees of Hill Lane. Birds are singing. I think there's a lot of Tolkien like deconstructions and Tolkien inspired works that that are worth unpacking. I'd have to do some deep dives into things I have not read or experienced yet, but yeah, there's so much to cover in the world of Tolkien adaptations that definitely 1 month isn't enough. I know there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to Tolkien, and I'm not going to pivot full time into one of those because I have too many hyperfixations that bounce all over the place to do all Tolkien all the time. But yeah, this month is not the last of Tolkien. Yes, if anyone wants to hop off and watch the Spider-Man trailer that I think dropped just now or will be dropping soon, I'm not fully sure, but yes, I do not begrudge anyone for wanting to prioritize that right now. I'll probably still be here when you get back. You could definitely call it Tolkien inspired. I also have not read Song of Ice and Fire yet. It's been on my list forever, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I know that George R.R. Martin has said that the ultimate finale of the series, the book series, not the HBO finale that everyone was disappointed by, but he said a couple times that that ultimately the finale is going to draw a lot from the Scouring of the Shire. So that is definitely like, you can broadly say that every fantasy work since Tolkien lives in Tolkien's shadow. Like, it's not inaccurate to say that, but there are definitely places in Song of Ice and Fire which are very specifically inspired by or reactions to Tolkien, and some other fantasy things are more of just reflections of a reflection of Tolkien. Yes, there are like not just like specific Lord of the Rings novelty songs like the Nimoy one, but also, you know, all the various, you know, Zeppelin and everything, all the rock bands that use a lot of Tolkien imagery. There's a lot to dive into there, and I feel like that would make a good crossover with someone who is better versed in rock music history, like I don't know. I could ask Crash Thompson if he wants to do something on that with me. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. A sinister black smoke and foul stench comes from the mill yard. Nothing like this has ever been seen in the Shire before. I think, speaking of the Scouring, I think we're getting some setup for the Scouring at this early point in the game. That's interesting. I don't... I know Interplay also made a Two Towers game, which I haven't played much of. I don't think they did Return of the King. I think they only did the first two. Much like Bakshi, they only made it through the first two books or parts of the first two books. So it's interesting that they incorporated the Scouring. Ooh, these look like thugs. And this looks like some sort of weird computer, which I guess is the the machinery that Sharky's bringing in. The mill is guarded by big folk with clubs. You realize you must be very quiet or they might wake up. Okay, hold on. I'm going to save my game before I start whatever this is. Options. You hit O for options. Save game. Game 1. Save current game. Done. Okay. Let's not wake these big folk up. The guards wake up. You realize that you should have been quieter. I don't know what I could have done different. I don't know what I could. Oh, we have combat. But I have nothing to combat with. Equip. Nope. Nothing. Okay, let's run away. Human hits Pippin to three identical John Oates here. So I don't have any weapons yet, so I should avoid combat, I guess. Human swings and misses Pippin. I have to run closer to the big folk to escape through the door. Human. Sharky has a very specific mustache dress code for his thugs, for his ruffians. Can I not run like... Run, Sam, run. There's no battle music in this version, apparently. There was, the CD-ROM version had battle music, but, nope, Sam is unconscious. Can I not escape? Do I have to try to fight back with no weapons? Okay, well, maybe I'll just die. Okay, Pippin's unconscious now. Lord of the Ringo Evenstar. Oh, now I can equip. Torch. Now that... I don't know why it didn't let me equip earlier, but now that I have Torch, Sam is dead. Sam's dead. The mission is screwed now. Okay, I am going to assume that I do not need to fight these big folk just yet, so I am going to either win this battle or lose this battle, load my game, and but I'll Look at this Satan Sauron. This very sassy devil. See, that's the thing. It looks like it's supposed to be Morgoth, but he has the ring, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Satan. Or Sauron, specifically. It's supposed to be Sauron Satan. Well. Well, that's the game. Let's get the old game. Let's not bother those big folk this time. It straight up is. It's Pitch from Santa Claus from MST3K. This really is the classic battle between evil and the narrator. Again, I mean, we almost had Mick Jagger Frodo, so. Okay. I wonder if there's anywhere I can like acquire a map that will show me the Shire. I don't know. There might be a map in the instruction manual, but the PDF was slower loading than a PDF should be because my equipment is all old. Okay, what part of the Shire are we in now? Are you another nameless hobbit, or do you have a name? Talk. Hobbit. Are you just the same guy from earlier? So they cloned a Hobbit extra and put him in several places in the story. Okay, let's see. Is this a house? Is this an inn? Is this a library? Is there anything to read here? No. Nope. Okay. So nobody's home wherever that is. Might just be... Okay, someone's home down there, but we'll find out who they are in a second. Nobody's home here. There's a lot of tedious exploring in this game. I do remember that much, and I probably could shorten the tedious exploring if I tried. Now, who is this who looks basically exactly like Lobelia did? Pearl Took. Peregrine Took, how dare you visit your sister without telling me you're coming? But it's good to see you. So Pippin's sister. Well, you know, maybe you should repeat the question. News. Well, Daisy said that Milo said that he heard in a tavern that, mind you, you know how unreliable he is. So, just pointless, I guess. How are you? Nope. Ask about stuff. Nope. Okay. I appreciate the level of exploration they have in this game, but it would be nice to know. It would be nice to have a shortcut for when something is important and when it's not. I know we're ultimately supposed to be going east and not south, so I'm just, but I kind of want to see how far south the Shire goes. It might be near a border, but it's hard to tell with these bushes. Yes, thank you for clarifying that the ring is important. It would be nice to have clarification of, and okay, that seems to be the border on this side anyway. Okay. We go up. We go right. We go down. Scoping out the border of the river. I cannot promise that we'll get to a part in this game where anything happens today. I cannot fully promise. Let's see. Let us know if more interesting things happen in Skyrim than it happened in this game. Such interesting little cul-de-sacs. Following the river, the river, the river. Ah, who is this probably unnamed hobbit with the exact same dialogue as the other ones? Rather late to be walking. A wolf was spotted near the Three Farthing Stone. If it wasn't for Anson Goodbody's dog, if it wasn't Anson Goodbody's dog. So maybe I should have asked all those other nameless hobbits news. So now I know that for the future. Okay. Should I cross this bridge? Oh, did I equip the... I should equip the torch before I run into any more trouble. Aha. What building is this? There are probably lots of shortcuts in this game. But I kind of wanted to go in unspoiled because, again, I haven't really played this since I was a child other than testing it out earlier to make sure it would work. And I kind of want to just get lost and explore, which is what we're doing here. And, like, I do appreciate the level of open worldness, like, for 1990. The level of open worldness in this game, I think it is appropriate for a Tolkien game. Unnamed Hobbit. News. Marigold Hornblower and Milo Bolger are going to be married this spring. You're the one who told me about it, so you should know something about it. Again, the way that the limited vocabulary. These pepper-potted hobbits. Pepper-potted hobbits. All these other hobbits just stand here for days at a time. Like, the sun has risen and set multiple times over, and they're just sort of standing here. News. Giant spiders can be found in the caves attacking hobbits. Something ought to be done. My good lord. Did they creep here all the way from Mirkwood? Shelob's daughters are really spreading around. Again, you do know more about it because you're the one who told me about it. Okay. Every random hobbit gives us exactly one piece of information. Some of it is game relevant and some of it is just world building texture. Okay. That's what we learn here. These appear to just be houses. I don't remember all the details offhand, but I know there's like kind of a hierarchy of like hobbits who get to live in holes versus hobbits who live in houses. Hobbit. This hobbit with the same exact face as all the others. This is yes, the Australian hobbits, the Australian Shire spiders. Go away before I call the sheriff. We've been breaking and entering everywhere, but this is the first person who's cared and the first hobbit that we're not even breaking and entering because the doors are just open. I feel like we are probably nowhere near the inn that the gaffer was talking about at the beginning of the game. That is probably much closer to Bag End and where the gaffer was. But the thing is, without like a way to zoom out at the world, it's easy to lose your way around here. Is this one also going to tell me get out of my home? Yep. Shut up, Ringo. Ringo of the Nine Fingers. See, when you think about it, the movie Help is just the Beatles' Lord of the Rings movie because it's all about Ringo is in possession of a ring that people are trying to kill him for. Running around exploring little houses, looking for details, probably missing the important ones. As you look toward Buckland Bridge, you notice that an armed man wearing a black cloak is standing there searching for something or someone. Okay, so let's save the game and fight a Black Rider. Let's do this. Oh, now there's battle music. Oh, I see. I have to get close enough to fight, and that's what's up. Nazgul hits Frodo Baggins for 8 points of damage. Does no damage. Frodo swings and misses Nazgul. Sam with his bare fist got a point of damage when Frodo couldn't get one with the torch. Because Sam is strongest hobbit. And now Sam is dead. The Nazgul was like, what the fuck? You took a bit of damage from me, so now you're just a goner. 1 point of damage. Pippin is not close enough to attack. Nazgul kills Frodo. Give items to Pippin. Now Pippin is the ring bearer. And Pippin's unconscious. I don't think it was making this sound last time. All right. Well, I am not wrapping things up yet for the evening, but I have to use the restroom. So I will be right back for more of this. In the meantime, I will leave you with this screen. And I'm back. Okay. I appreciate that reference, as you knew I would. Yes, someone asked why I was doing Tolkien Adaptation Month a few people asked actually why I was doing Tolkien Month in November instead of December, when December's the actual anniversary. Reasons are twofold. One, I wanted to have all the videos out by the anniversary. And two, I did not want to break my Decemberween tradition of a Homestar-related D-list. I have not played the 2003 Hobbit game, by Sierra. I would like to sometime. I just need to find a version that's emulatable on my MacBook, or maybe if it was ever ported to Switch or something. But I would like to give that game a try, because from what I've seen about it, I do like the visual style. All right. Old game. Here we are. I am not going to go to the bridge and fight the Nazgul. So I guess this river is the Brandywine, I guess, if that was the Buckland Bridge. I have seen clips of the Russian versions. I have not seen the entire things, but in any future Tolkien Adaptation Month, because I am probably going to do this for the next 3 years, or for the next 2 years, this year. I'm probably going to do one for every 20th anniversary of the trilogy, of each movie of the trilogy. I will probably do it next November and the November after that. After that, we will see. But on the docket for a potential future Tolkien Adaptation Month is the various foreign adaptations, because I know there was also a German radio production, which I do not speak enough German to be fully confident that I would grasp the nuances of, but I know the story well enough that I might be able to follow along with it. It's funny you mentioned the Game Boy Advance version, because I know that is different, like it's similar but different for The Hobbit. But much like that, Interplay followed this very game up with a, was it an NES or an SNES version? I forget, but one of the Nintendo consoles, they did a version of this game, which is aesthetically very similar. Oh, I'm avoiding those big folk. It's aesthetically very similar. It's the same kind of like top-down RPG, but it was a completely different game. Like the everything about it. I haven't played much of it, but I played like 2 minutes of it in an emulator. I played enough to know that like the map layout was different, the interface was different. Aside from the fact that it was Interplay adapting Fellowship into a top-down RPG, there was nothing in common with it, which is very, very interesting. Yeah, if there is one, or if they do one. Okay, it was SNES. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Ted Sandyman, this asshole. You enter Ted Sandyman's house. He and Lotho Pimple are standing next to each other, whispering suspiciously. So Lotho Pimple, I believe, like that's Lotho Sackville Baggins. In this version of the lore, is Lotho Pimple a separate character than the Sackville Baggins is? Talk. Ted Sandyman. There are going to be big changes in the Shire, and you aren't wanted. Run off to your elves. Also, I look exactly the same as all the other Hobbit extras, even though I'm the real asshole. Okay. Sandyman has nothing else to say. What does Lotho have to say? Same exact thing. Lotho looks exactly the same, speaks exactly the same. So as they're doing their dealings with Sharky, I guess, can I just beat the shit out of Lotho? As you raise your fist against the two hobbits, two big men appear with clubs. Lotho and Sandyman smile and leave you to be beaten. So, fine. Where are these big men? Oh, they are way the fuck far away. This is going to take forever. It's time to see, can I even win a fight in this game? Or do I not have enough equipment yet? Do I have to go to a store? I remember there being shops in the Shire somewhere where you can buy... Okay, Sam's escaped. Frodo has escaped. And we've all escaped. Human abandons the battle. Human abandons the battle. Okay. Was there a point to that? So Ted Sandyman is the miller's son, and he is one of the hobbits who is a particular asshole during the scouring. Yeah, that's pretty much his shtick. Okay, so I survived a battle. I didn't win it, but I survived it. I am... Hill Lane, is that like in a specific direction? Because this is the second time you've told me that birds are singing on Hill Lane. Is it like due west or is it due east? Wait, wasn't one of Frodo's skills jump? Can I jump over this hedge? Nope. Climb. Nope. Okay. No, in the Homestar universe, it would be Ted Sandyman, like Santaman. Boy, they really want me to notice Hill Lane, but I don't have a map, so... Ah, this looks like it might be an inn or a bar or a restaurant of some sort, because it's got, like, tables and multiple beds, so it's probably an inn. I might need to wait until daylight comes again before it's populated with people. I'm not sure. Also, it was funny that the gaffer at the beginning just mentioned the Hobbiton Inn, as if there weren't like so many inns mentioned by name in various parts of the Shire that they could have gone with. The Green Dragon. The Hobbiton Inn just sounds so generic. Oh, that looks like a sign. Can Frodo read the sign? Nope. Anybody home? We want booze or things or stuff. I can only imagine how long it took to develop a game of this size, like covering even a fraction of Fellowship in a game. If you were going to again, I've not really gotten past the Shire in this game, so I do not know if Bree, for instance, is rendered with this much detail, with as much detail as the Shire, but this looks like, is that a cave up there? Is that one of the spider caves? No. No. Okay. Okay. I wish there was a simple, like, look at button, like in a Sierra game, but hey. A child sobbing echoes through the woods. Oh, maybe this is that kid that the gaffer told us about. A keen howl comes through. Oh, we're gonna fight some. We're gonna fight some wolves, I think. Now, that is a viscerally unpleasant approximation of a wolf howl. Now, I wonder what these ruins are. Okay. Let's fight a wolf. One point of damage. Pippin's too far away. Again, the instruction manual warned us that there would be some violence towards wolves in this game. Attack wolf. Only 1 point. The fire isn't any stronger than Pippin and Sam's fists. A lot of swings and misses. I feel like the random number generator that decides if you hit is kind of heavily stacked towards not hitting. The good news is the wolf is closer to dead than any of us are, even if his hits are doing damage more often than ours are. God damn it. I am not particularly enjoying the combat element of this RPG, which is probably not a glowing review. I have talked about on our Patreon podcast before that I never really loved the combat part of RPGs. I'm much more interested in the storytelling and the exploration, which I realize is a lot like saying I love musicals except for the parts where they sing. I realize that the combat is like part and parcel of the RPG experience. But in my experience, if anything is likely to be tedious in an RPG, the combat is more likely to be tedious than the storytelling. Oh, hey, I killed the wolf. Cool. I want a battle. I want a battle against a wolf. Is this the child whose sobbing is echoing? It's the same 80s woman as Pippin's sister. Please make the bad doggies go away. I did. I'm not moving till they all go away until Freddy comes back. You can't make me. He fell down into a cave and I can't find him and I'm scared. And then the doggies started howling. Okay, so Freddy, who the gaffer mentioned is missing, is probably in that cave I couldn't reach. It's not far. Is that away? Or is it that away? Or maybe over there. Okay. Well, I guess we're going into the cave. I'm definitely saving my game and hoping that I can find something that generates health at some point before I go into a cave that is probably infested with spiders. Yes, of course, as Legoland... Fuck, another wolf. As Legoland taught us, they rule, okay? How many wolves? Couldn't the wolves all have attacked at once? Is that too much to ask? Yeah, we already know about the child. What are you doing, game? Okay, can I go down into the cave this way? Nope. Oh, I can just walk up the fucking thing? Well, at least we get the theme music again. Oh, I ate the rations and now I have more health. Okay. I forgot I got rations. I was trying to use the torch on this spider web here, but that doesn't seem to be working. Do I just walk towards it? No? Okay. Maybe I don't need to burn away the spider web, and I'm just thinking of other games where that's part of it. Narrow chasm that seems to descend forever. At least I'm not getting stuck in the webs, I guess. Faint crying. Okay, am I finally going to meet whoever Freddy is? Oh, we got Spider. But also, Freddy looks like he's wearing Cameron's jersey from Ferris Bueller. Not close enough. Okay. Ah! That is... It's a spider. Does no damage. Still not close enough. Spider swings and misses. 3 points of damage. Does no damage. I need to get weapons for Sam and Pippin at some point. Surely they exist. Three points of damage. Sam misses the spider. Pippin misses the spider. Come on, just the spider's so close to death. I just need one of you to get a good hit in. One of you little hobbits. Sam kills the spider because Sam is the hero. Ferris Spider's Day off indeed. See paragraph number 4. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring the manual back up, I think. Hold on. I think things that could not be fit into the game text proper were in the manual. So, hold on. Paragraph book, page 49. Hold on, let me add this back to the stream. If this will I should probably get I should probably just load the manual. Oh yeah, there is a map on here. Look at that. Okay, hold on a second. What I'm going to do is get the manual. I'm going to do it on the other computer, even though that's, tedious. It's not more tedious than this because it'll load faster on here. So just a second here. There we go. We're back. We're back here now. Map of the Shire. This would have been useful earlier. Where is... Okay, so way up here was Bag End where we start, and here's the Gaffers, and so the Hobbiton Inn was down over here. I don't know how we get back there, but we'll explore that later. So, oh yes, there's a whole glossary of Middle-earth terms, which definitely would have been useful for people unfamiliar with the games. Paragraphs. Okay. Geez, look at these hobbits. They are really interesting art throughout the manual. Interesting art in the game, separately interesting art throughout the manual. I am very intrigued by this. Okay, so what am I looking for? We're looking for paragraph number 4. And not getting spoilers from these other paragraphs as best as we can, but some of them might be decoy paragraphs, like fake choose your own adventure things. Who knows? Freddy is freed from the spider, but badly wounded. He's doing his best not to sob and is overjoyed to be with people who will help him get home. He joins your party. Several items are scattered nearby, including the bones of a dwarf that died trussed up like a roasting pig. Oh my god, that is grotesque. That is grotesque. These were the dwarves that that Bilbo couldn't save in Mirkwood. The bones of a dwarf that died trussed up like a roasting pig, an old axe, a star-shaped key, and a weather-worn scroll with legible dwarf runes in his hand. The scroll is readable. Okay. I've played the latest Paper Mario, the Origami King. That's the only Paper Mario I've played. I really enjoyed it. And I didn't hate the battle system itself. I just found the number of battles kind of tedious. We talked about that on the Patreon podcast a year or so back. And long ago, I played the Mario and Luigi. I think Partners in Time was the name of the RPG that I played from them. And I remember enjoying it, but I do not remember a whole lot about it. Okay, let us return to full screen DOSBox to... Okay, I guess, do we have to pick up those items? Axe, star key, yes. And read. In Dwarven runes, the scroll reads, Dear Bilbo, come visit us in Casa Doom, Balin. Okay, so is this Balin, or is this a dwarf messenger that was just sent to the Shire to say, hey, everything's great in Moria now? Or is it just a random piece of texture? Who knows? Okay, but Freddy's with us now. And I guess that's all we can explore in this cave, because we do not want to... I should definitely save the game. I should definitely save the game. I could just walk up that the whole time. Oh, here comes Wolf. Don't kill Freddy. And Frodo is unconscious. Freddy is Chucky. This little Chucky boy. Oh, I should... I can't. Okay, I should equip that axe when I can. Is Sam just worthless right now? One point of damage. Come on, Chucky, kill the wolf. Freddy Grub swings and misses wolf. Freddy only had like 3 points. I swear, if we get Freddy killed, if we get this little Chucky child killed, okay, I don't think I'm winning this battle. I don't think I'm winning this battle. I think my characters are just using their fists because I forgot to equip the axe and only Frodo had the torch. Nobody else has any weapons. So I think we are just punching this wolf to death. And we're basically just tediously seeing who will outlast each other. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy Grubs. Okay, Sam's unconscious, so now I got Pippin single-handedly fighting a wolf. The Fool of a Took. This is gonna end terribly. Frodo's dead. Okay. And Pippin's unconscious. And the game's over. Well, I've been dying a lot tonight, haven't I? Let's give this another try. Old game. Okay, before I leave... No, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do... See, there's O for options, and there's right-click for interface, and it's like... let me switch guys. I think Sam deserves the axe. Then again, oh, maybe what I have to do first is... that's why none of the other guys could equip, is because I got to trade it within my party first. Okay. Again, there might be faster ways to some of these processes, but equip axe. And it can't be equipped anyway, so never mind. Okay, let's just run away from the wolf. As long as the wolf keeps swinging and missing, we can... Frodo's escaped. Freddy is unconscious, so let's just leave this kid here. Sam's escaped. Pippin has escaped. Wolf abandons battle. Freddy's dead. Probably not great that we killed a child. I did play the new Homestar Halloween game. It was a lot of fun. I greatly appreciated all the... oh, what is happening here when I try to load previous game? That was a weird graphical thing. I appreciated all the very specific adventure gaming references, of course. The King's Quest tree did make me laugh out loud. God damn it, wolves. How? Okay, so Frodo's unconscious now. I'm trying to reunite Freddy with his sister. But the game's not cooperating. And what just happened? Everybody's dead or unconscious. Okay. But yes, I really liked the new Homestar Halloween game. I appreciated all the adventure game references. The King's Quest tree was great. The LucasArts references were all great. Yes, right up my alley. Okay, so let's try a different route to get back to town, I guess. We'll come back if I can find something to if I can find like more health reinforcements in town, because I got those silver coins, so clearly there's... Should I look at the map again before I do anything else? I think if I just generally keep going upwards, I'll find myself back in like civilized Hobbiton. Yeah, I just walked past the bridge, you dumb text box. This is worse than in Mask of Eternity, King's Quest VIII, where some of the creatures give you clues on how to kill this one witch. And even if you don't get those clues until after you've already killed said witch, the creature, Connor, will still say, this information will be useful on my quest. And it's like, no. I would love a full, like, I know Telltale is in a weird place right now of only kind of existing. But yes, I would love another full Homestar point and click. Or even just another Peasant's Quest sized game. I would gladly accept. Maybe if I run to the Gaffer, here, tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to look at the manual again, even if it means okay, so I think we're back near Bag End now. And the Hobbiton Inn was down past the mill, so near where Ted Sandyman showed up. Okay, but if I just follow this road, Hobbiton Inn is on the other side of the river here. Okay, I can deal with that. Here's the Gaffer. Will he notice that I have Freddy with me now? Ah, now he knows about the Black Rider. Okay, well, at least now it's actually the part of the story that he, you know, does in the book is talking to the Black Rider, but it seems to just be there for texture and not actually affect anything narratively. Oh yeah, now that I know to ask this guy for news. Black Riders exist. That's what we know from this guy is Black Riders exist. Cool. Yeah, Hill Lane, birds are singing, blah de blah de blah. There's the big men in the mill that I will avoid because I do not feel like fighting them right now, especially when I cannot equip an axe. Okay, let me double check where on the map we're looking. Oh, hello, developers, I guess. Okay, so 1, 2, go down. Second house over there. Assuming I'm reading this map properly. Black Riders. Do you have news? Wolf was spotted. Yeah, okay. I already did talk to that guy. Okay. I mean, as much as I tease some of the specific design choices in the graphics, like for 1990 on floppy disks, like this is solid game art. This tavern is full of smell of pipe smoke and air. He just likes the name Sharky. You spot a pretty hobbit lass with a tearful face. Meanwhile, Freddy's just running outside because, you know, he's too young to be in the tavern. Daisy is the lass. I do remember this game uses this bald old guy face a lot. Care for some ale? You offered ale, and you don't know anything about ale. I'm sure it's like a different, maybe I have to do trade, but let me talk to Daisy first. Same woman as everyone else. See paragraph number 50. Well, paragraph number 54. This made a lot more sense in the days of text manuals, I suppose. This is Daisy Proudfoot. You ask her what is wrong, and in a quivering voice she implores, "Me sister Taffy and a friend Freddy Grubb are lost in the East Woods. Oh, brave sirs, won't you please find them before the wolves do? Take Taffy to Great Road Goods and Freddy back to his father." Okay, I have Freddy, but where is Grubb? Oh, I wonder if Grubb was the guy who kicked me out of his house. I wonder if I show up with Freddy, if he'll be more... Is Grubb's house on the map? Doesn't say anything specifically about Grubb, but okay. Okay. Well, Daisy, I have Freddy, so I don't know what you want from me. Okay, no, that's not gonna... Can I recruit Daisy? Nope. Okay, trade. Bartender. Maybe get... Ah, there it is, get ale. Now, is ale a health potion? It is a very, very small health potion. Okay, I probably should not... there are probably more cost-effective ways to boost my health. But we'll find out some other way. Anyone else in this inn? Nope. So we heard the hustle and bustle as we entered, but not a whole lot of hustle and bustle apparently. You can often find elves in the southwestern woodlands of the Shire, making the journey to the havens of the Western Sea. Perhaps they might help you. Okay, I'll just keep going southwest then to see if I run into Gildor. It might not actually be an option. That might just be like presented as an option, and then you try to click it, and it's just like, no, we're just showing you the whole inventory. I don't know. I might go back and try it out later. Allow me to get completely lost again as I look for some elves that the game hinted might be part of it. We're in the woods. Do we see any elves? We seem to be almost as southwest as we can get. I'm running into bushes. Okay, well, this appears to be the limits of my southwestern journey. Game as old as me, song as old as stuff. I am 3 years older than this game. I feel like I already explored this entire corner of river. I do not know where it expects me to run into elves, but it gave me a pop-up box clearly because it knows I'm lost and confused. Well, no elves. Anyone in this house? Oh, is this the sister again? Yeah. The same face sister. I feel like one of these houses is going to have Freddy's father, but I don't know for a fact. At any rate, I did not run into any elves in the southwest, despite the game's oh-so-helpful hint. Are you Freddy's father? You're dressed like every other hobbit. Wait, no, that's not what I meant to hit. Visitors! Angelica Baggins. And threw a mirror at him. Was it the Mirror of Galadriel? You know, it's interesting about the video games based on the movies because I can't remember which studio had which. I think EA had the movie video game license, and there was another studio that I cannot remember exactly that had the license to do video games based on the books. So when the first movie came out, there was an unrelated Fellowship of the Ring video game based on the book Fellowship of the Ring. And then later EA made games based on the movies of Two Towers and Return of the King. And those games were not related to each other. And the other studio that had games based on the books could not legally use elements from the movies. And then EA could not legally use elements from the text unless they were in the movies. So what you had was like a Fellowship game which I've never played, but that had like Bombadil and the Old Forest and everything. And then you had Two Towers and Return of the King games that was strictly stuff from the movies, plus also just other video game type additions. And together there is a complete game trilogy, but it's much like the Ralph Bakshi Rankin Bass thing, unrelated games that sort of unofficially make a trilogy. And if I find those, if I'm ever able to emulate those games on my MacBook, or if I just get my hands on a computer that those games can work on, I might do something with them in the future. But yeah, it's game licenses are a fascinating thing. I'm trying to go up. Let's see, where am I now? Anyone in this house? Nope. Sometimes I wish the screen was a little more zoomed out. Oh yeah, I know there's like all sorts of weird complications with rights to different Bond books, or at least there were. I think a lot of those complications were sorted out, but like complications that allowed Never Say Never Again to be a thing and allowed the 60s Casino Royale to be a thing. Adaptation rights are inherently more complicated than they need to be, because everything with copyright is more complicated than it needs to be. To the south is Green Hill Country, a land of rolling hills and odd ruins, which sensibly most hobbits ignore. To the east is the Grange. I'll take your word for it. I don't know what any of that means in terms of my immediate goals. This is the Grange, home of the Grubb family. There we go. This is more promising. If I drop Freddy off... I guess this is a shed. What's going on in this empty room here? Is that Freddy's father? Are You My Father by P.D. Eastman? Freddy Grubb is leaving the Fellowship. Freddy, head bowed, sulks behind his father. His father scowls. Then he turns to thank you and gives you a pony. I have a pony now? I have a pony. I got a pony. Freddy doesn't want to talk. Grubb doesn't want to talk. So why have them as options? Okay, I have a pony. I don't know if I want to fight wolves with a pony. Is this Bill the pony? Am I getting Bill early and not getting him from Bill Ferny? Or is this just a different pony? I should save the game now that I have a pony. Can I dismiss the pony? Can I make the pony the leader of the Fellowship? Look at the pony! I am enjoying this. Can I trade the axe to the pony? Can the pony beat up the wolf? Let's go south for a while. I am getting such King's Quest 1, the goat following you around flashbacks from this pony. Why do you keep going up? Okay, the Green Hill, less interesting than promised. Let's go inside with this pony. Do, 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 do. Can I give this random hobbit this pony? All right. How long have we been going? Almost 2.5 hours. Okay. Let's play a little while longer, I think. Hey, buddy, you want a pony? Also just saying, beware the Black Riders. Cool. Okay. Can I fight the wolves with the pony? I wonder what this graphical glitch in the middle of the water is supposed to be. I don't know if I will need the pony later in this game, but I feel like it wouldn't give me the pony if there wasn't use for it. So I am going to try my damnedest not to get the pony killed. Just in general, you know. Ah, this used to be the Matham store, but is now called Sharky Shipping. They really are just having the scouring set up real fucking early in this game. I know I said they spend a lot of time setting it up in the movie despite deleting it, but wow, this is I can't talk to the store owner. Okay. The white hand, that seems the pipeweed, a shovel, and a pry bar. Sure, why not? Can I sell the pony? Trade to the pony. The pony now has the white hand. Can't really do anything with the white hand, I guess. I feel like is that gonna like get me some is that gonna be like my secret passcode to get into Isengard? Like I have a white hand and the orcs will be like, I guess you're one of us. It's probably a way to get more money somehow so I can buy more things and potions. More health ale, but I wonder what happens. Use pipeweed. Nope. Okay. Okay. Not going to fight the Black Rider with the pony. The pony will not be saving me from the Nazgul. I do appreciate how the river has such distinct right angles. I know boxy graphics are just the way of games back then, but it's very funny to me. I will say, considering we are hobbits, like, the sun has risen and set many times. We've been walking around the Shire for days, and we have not had even a first breakfast, let alone a second. So it's actually kind of impressive that we are trekking along so well. That's true. It's the Green Hill Zone. I believe a Rat Pack Lord of the Rings would be Lord of the Swing, baby. Let's see. Sinatra as Frodo. Dean as Sam. And if Dean is Sam, then Jerry Lewis is Gollum. Let's see, like, a Lord of the Rings with the cast of the original Ocean's 11. There's a lot to explore there, I think. I feel like I get the design layout, like I understand why the design layout does this. I feel like there are a few too many like dead ends in this, like not like real game breaking dead ends. I mean like just like walking down a path and suddenly it's like, nope, you have to turn around to go where you're trying to go. And I feel like that's going for some kind of like realism or immersion, but it's I feel like if anything, it discourages the kind of exploration that a game like this should be encouraging. I mean, MST3K did so many Tolkien references over the course of its run. Like when in TV's Frank's last episode, he was taken away by Torgo the White. Yeah, there are a whole bunch of Tolkien nerds in the MST3K writers' room, and Bill Corbett and Sean Thomason from Riff Tracks are doing a podcast right now called Ringheads, where they are going through the Jackson movies, basically in like 15 to 20 minute chunks at a time. They're like devoting each episode to like a couple of scenes from the extended edition of the movies. And yeah, that's a real fun listen. I've been enjoying that. And that was part of the impetus of doing Tolkien Adaptation Month, was because they were doing it for the 20th anniversary. And I had the idea a while ago to do a Tolkien Adaptation Month, but when they reminded me that the 20th anniversary was coming up, that was when I was like, I guess I should do this now. Okay, we're fighting a wolf. Or running away from a wolf. Let's run away from the wolf. One point of damage. Frodo is the weakest of us all, it seems. Pony has escaped. Sam has escaped. Frodo has escaped. It's all up to you now, Pip. God damn it. Pippin is unconscious. Pippin is dead. Well, fuck. Everyone else is alive, but I'm not playing. I'm not playing this game with a dead Pippin. I didn't. I haven't saved since getting a pony. I wonder if I'm going to explore to the south a little bit, best I am able. Let's see if I run into those elves that it was saying might be around. See if they give me any, like, potions or rations. Get a good look at Gildor. I'm not seeing any elves. I probably should have looked up a walkthrough to this game if I wanted to make this stream interesting, but, you know, I also did not want to spoil myself on details. I wanted to fuck this up on my own terms. Okay, I can't walk through there. I tell you, I appreciate that this Shire is fully explorable like this. I just wish it had a little more guidance to tell me which parts are actually worth exploring. Anything in here? This looks very deliberately walled off. Well done. Well done. Have a good night. Obviously, at this rate, I am not going to finish this game this evening. And I will pick things up with it probably on a Patreon stream. I will do the follow-up of this. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Thursday, because this week is a little... I got stuff going on this week. But... Okay, so that little cul-de-sac of woods was nothing really, I guess. Like, these look like deliberate yards, or at least like places where things should be happening. But I do not know what things should be happening. I do not know. Again, so many of these, like, these places look inviting and explorable, but, ooh, is someone up there? No, a building is up there. But it's like they amount to nothing. And again, I appreciate the level of immersion and detail, but a little bit of guidance. Just tell me where not, give me hints as to where not to waste my time. Let's see, I'm going to look at the map again. Green Hill Country, just wildly exploring. Oh, I could go down to see Farmer Maggot if I cross the river. That's probably worth doing. Farmer Maggot is down. Okay, so wait, the Grange is over here. So I need to cross this bridge and then go down this way to get, and then cross this other bridge to get to Farmer Maggot. Oh, and the cotton farm where I could see old Farmer Cotton and Rosie. Okay, okay. And Buckland Ferry's down there, and that's where I'm supposed to meet Mary anyway. So, I guess screw the child who's missing, and let's explore this further. Not this way, apparently. Another thing I remember about the CD-ROM version of this is, again, it had more music. It had that da, 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 but it also had some other tracks. And with the CD-ROM, if you put it in a audio CD player, the first track was the data, which you want to skip because it would just make an unpleasant sound. But all the other tracks, the audio tracks on the CD, were basically the soundtrack and the sound effects for the game, including that fully voiced tutorial was just one of the tracks, one of the tracks in the game. So, or on the CD. So that was that was enjoyable back when I had that CD. I might still have it somewhere, but I probably gave it back to the family friend who loaned it to us. I think he was just loaning it. I don't think it was a gift. This was a long time ago. But I used some of the soundtrack for this game in one of my early films, which has not yet been featured on Embarrassing Old Crap on the Patreon, but will someday. Okay. Where am I? Is this a cul-de-sac? It's a cul-de-sac. Let me look at the map again. Not just this photo of the very 80s developers. Let's see. Okay, river. Oh, I think I'm over here. Oh, okay. That's not where I thought it was. Okay, it's going to actually take me... don't think there's a direct route. I'm just going in circles. That's really it. It's like, I love fully immersive things, but there is a limit to when it becomes frustrating. I wish the music was still going so that there was at least something to listen to. Wandering around, finding my way around the river. Maybe I should try fighting the big folk in the mill again, now that I've got a slightly better grasp on how fighting works. I will save my game before doing so, of course. I also just want to know how well this horse can fight. You find yourself thrown out of the mill by big folk. Ted Sandyman was laughing at you as you hit the ground. One of the men shouts, "If we ever catch you sneaking off engineer again, we'll thrash you." Can I just attack them while they're sleeping? Guess not. Okay. I gotta get closer so I can fight. Where is Pippin? Pippin's lost. And the horse is lost, so I will never know. One point of damage. Okay, Frodo's unconscious, which is never great. And Pippin's lost. And Sam's unconscious. And okay, this is not working. Frodo is dead. Give the ring to the pony. I think the AI is very confused about everything now because Sam's dead, okay, and Pippin's still lost. This is not working at all. We may be stuck in like a unfortunate vicious cycle here. This game may be unwinnable and unquittable right now because Pippin is stuck in whatever netherworld he's in. And yeah. I may have to hard reset this game. Well, I think that's probably as good a time as any to call it a wrap on this. We will attempt this game again at some point in the future, probably on Patreon. Hopefully this week on Patreon, I will continue this stream of this gameplay. I will let everyone know on Twitter and on the YouTube community thing when that's opening. I don't know if when that's happening. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next night, or possibly this weekend. I am not entirely sure because I got other stuff I got to take care of at various points. But I will let everyone know when I resume this game on Patreon. And there are some other games I would also like to play before the month is out. So we will see how those go. But thank you all. Thanks to all who were here for joining me for this. And I hope you all are looking forward to Sunday's video about my favorite adaptation of The Hobbit. And until next time, this is Dave signing off.